again, it's Kennard, Vernon, Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking Auburn football, doing another CarCast. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Man, I'm super excited about this particular weekend. For one, I'm going to be able to sit down and watch most of the games that will take place. Very intriguing matchups that are going to be taking place here in the SEC. None other than Auburn versus Kentucky. Usually this is not a game that's on the radar, but man, you got a 10-game SEC schedule, so every game counts. You know, SEC, it means more. It means even more now because of an all-SEC schedule. So I want to talk about some of the factors that I think, especially coming into a game where the stakes are high right off the top. But I think at an advantage, Auburn actually has the advantage here. For the last few years, Auburn has actually played against not only a Power 5 team, but they played against Power 5 teams that had a lot at stake. You talk about taking on Oregon, who eventually won the Pac-12 championship. You know, you talk about Washington, who won it as well. I mean, these are all teams that Auburn is accustomed to playing high-end Power 5 football programs over the last few years. So I think that kind of puts Auburn at a formidable advantage here. Number two, I think Kentucky really has an advantage at the point of attack. They have some great guys at the line of scrimmage. The only thing is we don't really know how balanced their offense is because it was such predication on Lynn Bowden Jr., who had like 1,400 yards rushing the football. So we don't know how balanced their offense can be, but we do know the potential. And we do know that Terry Wilson is a viable dual threat quarterback that can make some things happen. So I think that's going to be an exciting piece to this particular football game. Now, I eavesdropped on another podcast, and I thought about something that Cole Kubelik said. And he was talking about Chad Morris, and will Chad Morris really call plays? I think that's a huge factor. You factor in an advantage that Auburn could possibly have. If Chad Morris can actually run the offense outside of the predictive standpoint of Gus Malzahn's offense, this thing could really be something special for Auburn this particular year. But we just don't know. We really, that's the part of this thing that we really don't know, and that frustrates most of the Auburn fan base, is the fact that they just, we get what we think is a good offensive coordinator. We think we get what are great weapons on offense, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's the, portions of the offensive line, whether it's high-tier recruits at the running back position. And then you have this one-dimensional level of play calling that makes you think this is all a waste. And then you see these guys go to the NFL and actually ball out of control, i.e. Darius Slayton and other guys like that. So that's the part that will be, an Achilles heel for the Auburn fan base is coming into this game and like, what do you expect offensively? There hasn't been much continuity, even in the 2017 season, where Kerryon Johnson broke all those records, played great down the stretch. But it was still just not the continuity that we were accustomed to back when Auburn was known for being running back U. So we got to take all of those things into consideration. So another thing that I'm really deeply concerned about is when you have these season opening games, you have those equalizers. Now, to be fair, this is nothing against Kentucky as a football team. I think they are an incredible football team. I hate that we're playing them the first game. Knew we had to play them, but not the first game. Those equalizers like your turnovers. Look back to the LSU game from 2017 where Auburn needed some help. LSU was a very talented football team, but guess what the help Auburn got? They got turnovers. They were able to make those key stops. They were able to put LSU in very compromised position. That's what they have to do for Kentucky. And on another standpoint, Auburn's offense has got to help this new defense out with time of possession. Got a new cornerback. Jalen Simpson actually won the Boundary Cornerback Award. You know, he's going to be playing boundary quarterback. Roger McCreary is back, but you still got some relatively young guys on the defense. You got to give them some confidence that when they do make a stop, that it's going to count, that it may convert into a score or things of that nature. All right, guys, that's my time here for the afternoon. Very excited. Got the prediction show coming up tomorrow. I know a lot of folks have their own versions of the prediction show, but I want to give you full-fledged analysis so that you can research all the body of work before you get a hold of these predictions. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.